And
Hello, this is UK HHN with PsychoMassacrefilms and CrazyEnglishman for a random HHN 25 broadcast yet again. So, introducing PsychoMassacrefilms, let's say hi.
Hey, what's up?
CrazyEnglishman.
hey guys,
So, today, as we were just talking about, me and my fellow friends, we're going to start off, talk about Jack the Clown. Now, I'll let PsychoMassacrefilms take the reins with just as with what we were just talking about with the theme. So, if you want to kickstart us off about Jack.
Okay.
Right. Well, I've my drink.
So Jack, Jack is on crack. No. That's
On
been
steroids.
a steroid.
Anyone else? Was that just me, or did he just literally look like when you look at all photos? He's like, all right, he's a toned guy, but this time he just literally his head looks massive and he looks like he's like. I think Dr. Jimmy, when he did his April Fool's video a few years back, actually said that you fight an MMA fighter dressed as Jack the Clown. He may got his wish.
Oh God.
So sorry for interrupting. I couldn't resist.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, pretty much Jack the Clown. Yeah, he's back, and Neil and I were talking about the theme a little bit before we started the podcast, and what I think is that the theme will be like a steampunk carnival, and for the marketing and the advertisement and everything, I think everything will be under Jack the Clown this year. It won't be The Walking Dead as the whole say theme or like taking over the whole. Yeah, exactly. Amen.
praise
Amen.
be unto Jack the Clown.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everything will be under Jack. But like Neil said, he mentioned that I think The Walking Dead's gonna be the main IP. That's a no-brainer, really. Yeah, I agree with him. But yeah, hopefully that steampunk carnival they do something really cool like at the entrance, like how they did in Carnival of Carnage in 2007 with all the sets and everything.
Yeah. I mean,
They involve the whole thing just like with a storyline, and there's it's like we feel immersed in this steampunk carnival with Jack leading the way with his maniacs and all that stuff.
yeah. I mean, I'm hoping for the outside. Either one, we get the screen back with Jack the Clown on the screen console. Obviously, basically how he was on the little video that's just been on. So we have that kind of repeating over and over again. He's introducing the houses, etc. And also, I'm hoping there's like the steampunk feel up like the pillars, like that's been like Carnival of Carnage when it was all the it's not like the banners and the bunting all to the van outside, and it was just like everything. As soon as you walked up to that kind of, I always call it the big circle, where the ball's spinning, and you get like the meeting part where you can either go NASCAR way or Hard Rock way. That felt like that's where the event started at 17, and now I just don't. I haven't felt for years that there is an event. I just feel like you go in and you're in Universal Studios, and if you go down a little side alley, there's an haunted house attraction. It's not been immersive, but this year I think they have to. I think there's a lot of expectation, and I still think some people probably won't. Expectations will be too high for the event, but like Psycho said, I think that it has to be. I don't think it's that we want it to. I think it has to be all under Jack. It has to have some theme. Otherwise, they've wasted the biggest chance they've had in years of kind of, settling the score with The Walking Dead. But that's just my view. I just think that if they don't do a theme, I don't think if they don't do one this year, they can't do one next year because it doesn't make sense to me. So it's all or nothing this year, I think. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we do get, like Psycho said, I love a steampunk feel.
Yeah.
I'd love it to kind of immerse itself into the actual scare zones as well.
Right.
If that makes sense. Not just a load of random scare zones. It's kind of, if everything could merge, it would be great somehow.
Right.
So, like they did in 19, where each was supposed to be part of a film. But yeah,
Right.
I can't wait now. Yeah, hopefully we get a decent show or something. Not Rocky Horror
Right.
Show.
David, what do you think about that steampunk carnival thing? And do you think that there will be a theme and storyline?
I think it's a great idea, and I agree with Neil. I think if this is a great year to bring back that kind of theme or big kind of presentation that Horror Nights, especially Orlando, is known for. And what a better year than the 25th anniversary, and then bringing back Jack the Clown. And I think they would go that route only because if you're bringing back Jack the Clown, who's a fan favorite, and like really presenting him, especially this video that's like it's a really big reveal for him. Why would you waste a great icon like that if you didn't have something planned for the event itself that ties in with Jack and how he's kind of taken back control of the park? And to have it a steampunk thing, that would definitely kind of be along the lines of a sequel to Carnival of Carnage, but still kind of doing something different that's not a complete reboot like we talked about. Yeah, it's great if we have Carnival of Carnage back, but we don't want the exact same thing. Sorry.
What is the sound of the police?
I'm right next to a doctor's. Sorry, so but yeah,
David.
Someone just got massacred.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I like that idea that Jack's coming back and kind of bringing his own kind of pseudo sequel, as it were, to Carnival of Carnage, which, as we've said many times, and by the statistics, it's one of the fans' favorite years of Horror Nights Orlando. So I'm really excited to see what the final look will be. And I too hope that it will kind of seep into the scare zone somehow and kind of spread his minions across the park, torment guests and that. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the possibilities that 25 brings this year. The trailers got me very excited, and as much as I would love to be there this year, I can't wait to see videos that people will take of the event itself.
Yeah, so I mean, me and Psycho were talking before the stream went up. It was on about, and he obviously said it there as well. I'd still believe The Walking Dead will be the main IP. I think we've noticed throughout the last couple of years, even when it wasn't just Walking Dead as the scare zones, etc. It was always Walking Dead was the main IP with the merchandise, zombie bait, etc., etc. So the rumor I've heard, but this is the thing now with the houses, was that The Walking Dead will be a best of ours, which I don't think really anyone kind of considered. But then taking a step back, it makes perfect sense because although these scenes out of season 5, is it? We're on season 5. Forgot now. It's all merged into one. Yeah. Where you could do the seasons. It kind of we've kind of had 2 houses the last 2 years where it's just basically the best of that season. Now, the houses were a little bit different, but then if you do a third house, which is basically similar sort of surroundings, etc.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the same as. So it makes me wonder, if they do a best of, not only do they save money by using sets again, so you can use the golf club house in the tunnel, you can use scenes from Woodbury, and there's also the fact that they can actually use, and they are allowed now to use, the governor, which obviously would be a massive pull because he is dead. So this would be one way of getting around the fact now that they could actually put the governor in. They could even put Merle in, even though they did have Zombie Merle once before. They can put Milton in again, and also what was she called? Who did it? Milton Bitter. What was she called? Andrea. Put Andrea in there. So they could do the best of, which it would be kind of cool to go out on, if that's what the house is going to be, the final Walking Dead house. To go out as a best of house would kind of make more sense, and I think a lot of people would kind of give it a bit more leeway than just doing the same old another season of Walking Dead house.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so I mean that's just one of the things that we've heard. But then again, though, you never know what's true and what's not. But um, I was saying to Psycho as well. I don't know about you guys. After reading the house list for this year, I'd kind of love if something got changed. Not because there's anything really I want changing, but just to kind of give us a little nice surprise for something we wouldn't be expecting.
Yeah.
So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. And if houses were to get replaced, which ones would you like to get replaced?
I would like to see American Werewolf in London. And, like we mentioned this before a lot of times, but I want to see Werewolf in London in the Hollow Past house, but
Yeah.
put something else in Werewolf in that soundstage, you know.
Yeah.
But if not, I don't mind it being there. I just would like to see something else. Like, because yeah, like don't get me wrong, the house was amazing and Werewolf in London's awesome, the movie, but it's just too soon. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there's been people saying like, oh well, maybe they'll tweak it a little bit, which they can. Maybe they'll add something that they didn't add in the so a few things, not too much, not change it too much. But
That's the problem, isn't it? I mean, you had a near perfect house, so it turns around that because of the time frame they've repeated it, that you're trying to force changes to make it a little bit different, but not for the sake of actually making it better, just for the sake of making it different. And then if it doesn't work, it ruins the house. 'Cause everyone just then goes, "You shouldn't have changed it." It's too late then, isn't it? So it's not. I just don't get the house being there. Like Cycle said, it's too soon. So
yeah,
Yeah.
like I think Vic mentioned it. Maybe they'll put some stuff from Hollywood's house in Orlando's house, and they'll keep.
Exactly the same.
put Murdy in there.
I watched the walkthrough back to back, and it's exactly the same. It's like, yeah, we've got John Birdie now in the maze.
Hey guys.
Put John Landis in there cracking off in the sex cinema.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean,
I got that.
I mean, I don't know. Like some parts of the Hollywood maze were really cool, but
yeah, the werewolves looked more violent. Yeah, they had more blood, I thought. But then again, no wait, David, did you go Hollywood last year?
No, I was unable. Unable.
Oh, you're back here, weren't you? I'm trying. Did
watched
you have
all the videos of the walkthroughs of the mazes and stuff?
Did they still have the same part as in the cinema scene where the wolf was killing the usher?
I don't believe they did actually. I think it was just a walkthrough with the skip.
Dave. Is it Dave Jack? Okay, I always get mixed up with stuff.
Yeah, I think it's
no.
Dave.
The cinema was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the cinema, but the part when you walk in the Orlando one. You walked in and the screen was behind you, and you walked up and the woman jumped up, and so did whichever one killed Jack. Yeah, sorry. And as you walked through, the usher was on the floor. But when we was on a tour, we got told that was a nod to the usher, the HHN icon, and it was his torch.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if that was incorporated into the Hollywood one.
No,
tour guide was.
No. Oh, okay, gotcha.
But if they do change something, I'll put a gun record and say they'll put actors in the pub scene at the start.
It only had the pub tender. That was it.
Yeah.
It was kind of, even in the Hollywood one, it was just one guy in there, and he was just like, "Beware the moon," and that was it. You just walked through. And as great as that scene was, there was nothing else to make it. I would have liked to have had the guy that was intimidating Jack and David in the beginning, like, to be there, maybe jump out like from the side and kind of like beware the moon.
Shout, "You made me mess."
Yeah. Like, so you have, as you're walking in, you see the pub tender, and he's kind of like staring you down, and then from the side you can what John calls set him up and knock him down, where you just have the intimidating pub bystander come by to the side, and it's just like stay off the moors or something like that. That way it would have made it more, I think, more
right.
I mean, sorry, what was you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh no, like I was gonna say, at least the Hollywood maze had somebody in that scene because the Orlando one
Yeah,
had no one in there. I was
yeah.
like, what the
Yeah,
hell
we didn't
happened here?
either.
I
They all
kind
went hunting for the werewolf. They left the
yeah.
bar.
I kind of got why no one was in there for the sake that because of. I mean, obviously you've got an actor you got to pay to do a scene that's kind of not scary. It's kind of like I suppose to me that scene where you walked into the pub and you actually walked through the pub for me was the same as Cabin in the Woods walking into the cabin or Evil Dead walking where you just walk through whatever the fuck you walked through at the
Yeah.
start. Sorry for my language, but Evil Dead was a mess as you walked in. I don't think they knew what you was walking into, and then you was inside the cabin. Um, because obviously nothing in the film really happens apart from they sit down and then get creeped out a bit and then they go off. But I would love to have a full moon effect as you walked out the pub, and maybe it's just even on a screen. So and you wear the owl and you look up and there's a full moon on
Yeah.
some screen to kind of
That'd
because
be
I just
cool.
thought I just thought it was just too dark, and then you saw him getting attacked by the wolf, and then the
Yeah.
next thing the puppet come out. So a bit more suspense. I thought they could have got away with, but I'd like more zombie Nazis in that scene. I thought we had like one or two, and it was really kind of it was more of a corridor scene than an actual full scene,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Right.
Um, it was it was just a bit it was a bit kind of short that, but I suppose could do that. But there's an old saying in showbiz: you always leave them wanting more, and I think by
Right.
bringing this house back, they'll ruin it. I think it'll go down as a good house then instead of being what was a great house.
Yeah.
You know? Just my 2 cents. Like we've talked about in the past, and it's I mean you can't really change. Everyone said it was. It is funny though because when the house um, happened and the event ended, which was HHN 23, wasn't it? Everyone was going, I love that house. If that house come back next year, I'd be happy and all that. House comes back 2 years later, and everyone's like, I can't believe it's coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, like that we were talking about it. Like I think you mentioned it. Like, oh, like think they'll bring it back. Like yeah, like in later years. But yeah, I just didn't expect it to come back this year. Hell, even
Yeah.
last year. It's like, wow.
So
So, I mean, for me, it would have
That
made more
reminds me
sense.
of Hollywood. Like they bring back Macy's and like, oh, back like popular demand. I
yeah,
haven't
Oh,
seen that in a little bit.
that was the exact words they used for Texas Chainsaw Massacre back in 2008. Like 2007 was amazing, and that was in fact the year we got Jack the Clown. And then the year after, it was just like, yeah, it's back by popular demand. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's exactly the same, just the way you wanted it. Like,
They did
okay,
that
so we can change
with a Saw too in
Yeah.
2010.
oh,
Oh, back
Uh,
by
you,
popular demand. Saw
the,
new trap.
Yeah, exactly. Like the only thing they changed really was the title. It was just like game
Game
on
on.
and then game over.
Yeah.
That was it.
someone got a bit of black paint and painted over the sign.
Yeah. Otherwise, the walkthrough is very same. It's very
Yeah.
same. I mean,
Hey,
oh, sorry.
no, sorry, go on, David. What was you
I
going to
was
say?
just gonna say if they were gonna bring back any maze and you could change it, AVP had a lot of potential to have it changed around because it has a lot of it doesn't have a specific location you have to be stuck to. You can still use the
Yeah,
puppets, but kind of change around the environment a little bit. Maybe mix and match. You could do it on an alien planet, like kind of make it look alien. That's a maze I could see having potential to have sequels because it is such a wide universe, and they could still kind of get their licensing on still on the puppets to use in the maze and get use of them while they still have them. That's a maze I would have thought would have had a potential of return, not necessarily American Werewolf in London.
mm. I'll
Uh,
be honest. So if it was a toss up between AVP coming back and American Werewolf in London, I'd choose American Werewolf in London after ours was last year. That's just my opinion. I know some people like the house, but I just thought it was too lit up, and it was just too much of a like walking through a wax work basically for
mm,
me. Yeah, but
yeah,
I
you felt
get
more like
they,
Hollywood's.
yeah. I mean, I heard Hollywood was good. I watched the videos, and the problem I think the things with videos as well is you never get the even though you know kind of what it's like. You never get the true feel as such. But Orlando's, I went through it time and time again, and each time I went through it, I was kind of trying too hard to like it. I just thought there was a lot of parts that just didn't work.
Yeah.
And I thought it would have been great as an Alien House. Just an Alien House probably would have worked a lot better.
Alien House in the dark would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Like the darker environment, like the original film was. It was a very dark film, and to have the puppets in dark places would have scared the crap. And I think it would have had the same feeling as American Werewolf in London had they done the original Alien.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, my parents actually had the same thoughts when they went through Halloween. They thought it was too bright, too many Michael Myers. It was just, they didn't enjoy it really. And they were like you, Neil, they wanted to enjoy it because it was Halloween. And then sorry, John, I know you love that.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I think they had the same feeling that with Halloween, and I think if they did bring back Halloween, and I hope they do, and I hope they do the hospital, because the second one has one of the it's still creepy up to this day. I'll watch Halloween 2, and I know this is gonna be the most blasphemous thing I've ever seen, and this is coming from a Halloween fan. I actually think the second one's a lot creepier than the first one because of the long hospital corridors and the dark corridors in the hospital.
Yeah,
We've all been in a hospital, and we know how creepy it is if you're there overnight. So if they did Halloween 2, oh my God, that would be amazing. So that's again another maze that has the potential to come back because it has so many environments you can work off of, and you could do like Hollywood did back in, I believe it was 2000. It might have been 2010, 2009. But they didn't just stick to the original film. They kind of went through most of the movies. I mean, it was mainly Halloween 1, but they took it out from different films as well, like Halloween 4, Halloween 2. And I think Halloween, again, has a potential to return as a sequel maze. But going back with American Werewolf in London, and we've discussed this already, so we don't really have to dwell too much on it, it's a self-contained film. So doing a sequel maze is very difficult unless you want to do that crap film Paris. But I mean, I don't think Aiello would even go that far to do that, just because he wants Werewolf to come back.
This is what I think about doing another American Werewolf in London House. It's later smack us down on the candy asses of whoever thought that idea. But I just the house she was going on, David. Sorry, was that? I didn't want to interrupt. Was that the Laughing Crime to Michael Myers?
Yes.
Yes. I watched a video of that actually. I was a bit gutted that I've never got to go through that house. It did actually look good because I think I'd seen a bit of it before, but I must have never seen the beginning because it was the same as Orlando's, wasn't it? But the house facade, but you actually went through the front door, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and it had the same video in the windows where Michael stabs his sister, etc.
We actually had the trick-or-treaters as well running around from Halloween 3 outside the windows.
That's true.
Oh, cool.
So they kind of had this merge.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Halloween 3 in this one room. They had that really annoying song, the Shamrock song, on the TV. and you're like, oh, you tested one. And then this is the little child trick-or-treaters just banging on the windows.
But I think David made a great point there with American Werewolf in London. It's a self-contained film. That's what it is. The film is what it is. It's a film. Whereas you look at any kind of slasher films like your Michael Myers, your Halloween, your Texas Chainsaw Massacres, your Nightmare on Elm Streets, your Friday the 13th. People refer to them films as have you seen the latest Freddy film? You've seen the latest Michael Myers film? You've seen the latest Jason film, etc., or Leatherface film? Because the films are never amazing if you take that character out, but it's all about the character and how people always kind of love I mean, no one really cares about the people. Everyone's just waiting for how Michael's going to kill someone or Jason's going to kill someone. So that's why when you do a maze on them, you can basically do it on whatever you like, because no one's interested in the other content. They just want to see Michael Myers or Jason. So with American Werewolf in London, like say, the film is based around the set scenes. It can't deviate away because it just wouldn't make no sense. I mean, you couldn't have the part where he wakes up in the zoo and you can see what he did in the night, like whether he was like masturbating in the cage or something, because it just probably wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just. I mean, I was with. Well, what was strange was when I went through Halloween. When Halloween got announced, I kind of was looking forward to it, but wasn't the one else that I was excited for. Definitely wasn't Dracula Untold I was excited for. But when I went, but when I went through it, I was actually kind of shocked at how much I liked it, the enjoyment factor, the nostalgia factor. And then as I went through it more, I enjoyed it more and more, and appreciated it a lot more. I think I also appreciate the fact because of how bad Dracula was, and Dusk Till Dawn I didn't really like, and AVP, and like Dollhouse of the Damned was good in certain parts, but I'm just thought with last year's wasn't a great event for me.
Yeah.
I thought this year they need to push on, and even though we've got 9 houses, to me I feel like I've got 8, if that makes sense to anyone, because if push comes to shove, American Werewolf in London's always going to be the last house I'm going to go in, because it's just what's the point? I've done it 2 years ago. I'm not going to queue for half an hour for that first when I can make sure go on everything else. Or I don't know if you guys agree. I mean, same with you, Psych, obviously you're going this year, but would you rather queue up and go on American Werewolf in London once this year, even though you've done it X amount of times the year before, or go in something twice?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't mind going back in American Werewolf in London like more than once, because I did like the maze and everything, but I would definitely lean towards going into repeating other mazes. Yeah.
Here's one for you. I load Scream twice, or whatever it's going to be called. So let's call it Icon House 2. In there twice, or in it once, American Werewolf in London once. Got a choice. $1 million question.
That's
okay. Yeah.
About you, David, what would you do?
I don't know. To be fair, I'd rather just see American Werewolf just as a side, maybe like a little nod to it and how it passed to Jack Hellhound or something. Like just like kind of
Jack riding the werewolf or something. I don't know.
He's his pet dog. No, I think I'd rather see just a nod to it. Just a little like, okay, this was a really cool maze this year. Here's a little segment of it.
Yeah, like a scene or something. I don't know.
It doesn't have to be a full scene. Just like, oh, there's the werewolf.
Just the puppet, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're walking through a dark corridor, you just have the puppet out the side. That would scare the crap. It's just pure dark corridor, and then all of a sudden, like the wolf comes out from different angles. That would be a lot better than a full scene or even a full maze. To be fair.
Yeah.
But you know what? One cool scene, like if they are gonna do like some tweaks, or include like maybe 1 or 2 new scenes in the werewolf maze this year. Like it goes back to like when they're in the moors scene, the moors. Like it's just like this. You go into this room. It's like just like the ground, and like the sides are dark. They're completely dark. But then you hear the wolf, and then he pops out. You see kind of like Jack coming out like ah! Or, I don't know, something like that. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah. I just don't get why there's no. I mean, or past 2's gonna be, but I just don't get how there's not 25 years of horror house.
We invited Jack in here.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, American Werewolf. The only thing that's going to annoy me with American Werewolf London is if it gets a bigger house or than something else that's kind of new. I can see Scream being in a shorter house, me. That's just my thing, because I just think it'll get a bit boring after a bit.
Yeah.
I think that'll be like your Resident Evil style kind of size. It's just a strange one. I'm trying to think what other IPs did we get again? So we had Walking Dead, Scream, Freddy vs Jason, which should hopefully be immense. Should be great.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff. That's just like what David was saying before. Same with Aliens vs Predator. It can go anywhere. It can be L. It can be Freddy's Dreams. It can be Crystal Lake. It can just be anywhere. It can be in Manhattan. No, I would love the Leprechaun in Space House. That's just my house.
Back to the
Where me pot of gold? Jennifer Aniston, young days, but yeah, it's just so. As sorry as well, I think, and you guys all know more on this because I've had a bit of an hectic week, so I'll let you take the reins on this. About is it the Shrek screen? Something you were saying before, Psycho?
Oh yeah, there's a rumor going around that the ninth house might go in the second Shrek theater, which is rarely used. So I heard that they're just gonna take out the seats and they're gonna put the ninth house in there. And the queue line, I don't know where it's gonna start, but it's gonna go around the I Love Lucy tribute shop, whatever it's called. It's just gonna go maybe like through the back entrance of the soundstage, but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm down for it, honestly. Like a fifth soundstage house, that'd be awesome. I'd rather have that than a third sprung tent. But here's the thing, like, if that sprung tent supposedly is being built in the back near the other two sprung tents, like what's up with that,
Yeah.
Right now, it's looking more like there's actual evidence that the third sprung tent is where the ninth house is going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unless there's something that no one knows yet.
Yeah, could be.
No.
So
Yeah.
probably put that in there.
Could be a Walking Dead inside scare zone.
The Walking Dead houses.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Walking Dead was.
Oh my gosh, people are gonna roar.
Oh. Well, I suppose with The Walking Dead, if that is true, that rumour about a best of house, it kind of nips in the bud, doesn't it, about people saying how did they one up last year, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a strange one because that second screen, what's it used for? Is it used for busy days or replacement screen for the main one? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Is that what it's used for?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
No, the Shrek theater, the screen. Is that what it is?
I don't know, to be honest.
Because imagine ripped all the seats out,
I don't know.
and then the one day it just completely knackers the screen you use, and they go, yeah, you can watch it from in here. Just mind the dead bodies. Just look up and don't look at the dead bodies on the floor.
The usher's been playing in there all this time.
Yeah. It's a strange. I mean, it's obviously. I mean, the thing is, the rumors. There's probably seen a work permit or something, and they're probably just maybe fixing the screen or something, or doing what they did with Spider-Man, might be digitally re-enhancing the screens. But yeah, like I said, the sprung tent makes more sense to me, and like I said, the evidence that's been coming on, I've seen some of that. It's kind of. I mean, we all know how Comcast are with money. It just kind of surprises me they're going to start ripping up what is a functioning screen cinema / area just for Halloween Horror Nights. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think, Dave?
I mean, I'm not as familiar with the layout as Orlando as you guys are, but I agree with Neil. I would estimate probably it would be a sprung trend, if anything, popping it through there. Like I said, I'm not well versed in the layout because I've only been to Orlando about 5 times in my entire life, and it's a lot changed. But if what you've described to me is what it's like, I would think probably a sprung tent because it's more self-contained, and easier to manipulate than trying to build a full set maze inside the Shrek theater.
Right. I mean, there were talks too of that the MIB Men in Black extended queue line was going to be used as well. I think would connect to the Sprungton. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's where it'd filter through from the back, wouldn't it? Because if you think about it, you have you always have two. Is it two? I'm trying to think now. Let me get my things worked out. You always have an entrance and exit in between Men in Black and the Coca-Cola, and the Simpsons, if you want to call it that area, in the top corner. You have two entrances to houses and one exit in the kids zone area. And there was a lot of rumours with the saying there was going to be kind of work going on, construction work in kids zone. Last year and obviously this year, but obviously with a Nintendo agreement. And now that's looking like what kids zone's going to change into. That'll probably put off till next year, especially with Kong happening. So it looks like kids zone will be stay there for till the end of this year, I should imagine. And then the construction will start. So I think kids zone will be free. So that kind of lead out to the other tent, like you just said, Psycho, with the other queue being the Men in Black over queue. So, but how do you get to the extended queue? Do you have to? Would it be in between Men in Black? Because if you go on the normal Men in Black queue, there's like a metal gate, isn't there, before you go into the ride. In fact, I'm wondering if that's it. But usually the Men in Black ride actually open on the night. So, don't know. I ain't got a clue.
I really don't know. I don't know.
It'll be you have to go on the ride, shoot so many aliens to get to go on this house.
Go where might be.
Jump off halfway through and run through a door.
Oh gosh.
So, is there any rumours for which house? Well, there probably has been. Once the maze got leaked, they kind of got a bit disheartened, really. And with what houses are going to be soundstage and which houses are going to be sprung tents.
Yeah.
Right now, like at first, Scream was said to be in a soundstage, but now I think it's gonna go in a sprung tent.
Yeah.
And then Alice in Wonderland and Alice in Wonderland and Insidious are gonna go in the other two sprung tents.
I would have liked Insidious in a soundstage, to be honest. Alice in Wonderland, I can clearly see that because we've had the last 2 out of the last 3D houses have been intense with obviously Clown Vision Jack and 3 out of the last 4 3D houses have been sprung tense with Afterlife Death Vengeance, The In Between, and Jack's house. Obviously, I know the other one was Penn and Teller in Disaster on it. So. Yeah, it's just obviously the 3D mazes work to an extent in the tents because it's only got to be pitch black basically. I think Alice in Wonderland will work as a good psychedelic 3D house actually. I just thought I didn't like Afterlife Death Vengeance. Thought it looked really poor. Thought it looked the
concept was really good though.
Yeah, I think the concept was good. I think it was in a way it was too much outside the box to pull off in an house. I kind of thought if it wouldn't have been 3D, I would have loved to have seen which way they would have gone. But because it was 3D, I think you're already restricting yourselves to how do we get. You're thinking about an effect before you're actually thinking of a storyline. I think you all agree with 3D mazes. You're restricted, aren't you, with what you do? You always have someone in a black lycra suit walking past your face to disorientate you, so you can't really see they're there. So and you have like the ones where everything's in like mad colours and all that. I just didn't think it kind of worked. As such, it was a bit strange. But no, it's like David said, it was a great concept. Didn't think it got executed well.
It was really disturbing in there. Like it had really disturbing atmosphere and imagery, which I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
And especially in that room, Neil, I don't know if you remember, but it was in where there's like the body bags in that room.
Cool.
This girl with her eyes gouged out, comes at you, and then like there were a few times in where like it was so like I didn't know where to go. Like I felt really disoriented in there.
Yeah.
It was kind of like scary, but
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought just after going off, I mean, do you remember the in between? I thought the in between had a great concept to it, and I thought it was executed really well. It felt like it was a story, whereas with Afterlife Death Vengeance, I just felt there was parts that were good, but there were no flow to it. It was just like random parts, which I
Yeah.
kind of get that it was aimed at that. But yeah, I think you need to, with an house, you need to get lost in it and really enjoy it. It has to have a flow to it and a kind of story, so you're thinking, all right, this is this, and when you walk out, I like that part because this, and everything seems right. It seems it was in the right place. I just thought with that house, it was kind of a bit like all over the place. But like I say, it was supposed to be in his mind, wasn't it? So there wasn't ever really going to be like a story, etc.
right.
I mean,
I,
I don't,
I do pose this question. Since Jack's coming back this year for the 25th anniversary, do you think Chance will be here as well this year?
yeah, I think it should be there in some capacity. I should
Yeah,
imagine. I think there'll be stuff as well that's not really announced. It's just when you see it when you're there, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. They've
Yeah.
done that in the past with scare zones. I remember the dying, the drive for the drive for it, Mel's Diner, and it was just kind of horror characters. And apparently there was ones I never actually saw, and people were saying, "Oh, did you see such and such a body?" And I think it was they must have had. Just say they had 30 costumes, and they picked 10 for each night. So whoever you saw was just as random as if you saw Shaggy and Scooby Doo in a day. But yeah, there's. I mean, I saw Scarface, and some guy I thought was lying until he showed
yeah.
me a photo, and I didn't even to be
Scarface.
fair, yeah, I just didn't understand why Scarface was there. To be fair, but oh well, that was just me. But no, it's. I think Chance will be there. I think you'll get. I think you'll have maybe an unofficial scare zone slash meet and greet with the icons
Yeah.
Yeah, like
somewhere.
that icon scarce and that was leaked
Yeah,
too. And I think she'll show up there. If
Yeah.
not, like
yeah,
if Jack has his own scare zone, because I heard that one of the scare zones that was going to be based on Shady Brook. No, no, not
yeah.
Shady Brook. Hell's Gate was scrapped. And then
Mm,
I also heard that the Universal Classic Monsters one was scrapped too, which I hope that comes because that'll be really cool. But
Yeah.
yeah,
If Jack has his own scare zone, if not his own house, maybe they'll have a scare zone like they've had like in 2010 and 2011 with the icons from those years. But maybe I think Chance will show up, might show up in there.
yeah. I think
Barrels.
I mean she could even turn up in the Hallowed Past 2 house or whatever it kind of
That's
is.
true. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's but I, I was I was a bit gutted, and that Scream house didn't come back. The
Yeah.
caretaker's house. You know, I think they've I think they can't. I think for repeat houses, that's what they should have done. I think it should have been about 4 icon houses, maybe one original house, and then 4 IP houses. That's just me. But like with David asking a thing about Chance, I just want to post to you. Like we're saying about Universal Monsters, Scare Zone might be getting scrapped because obviously it wouldn't really be scary as such. But do you think there's going to be, if it is scrapped, that Scare Zone, do you think there's going to be something there to acknowledge that without them we wouldn't have even got to HHN 25?
Yeah.
I do think that having the monsters there will be. Oh, I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was just gonna say I'd be up. I would like to see something at least kind of taking a tribute to showing this is 25 years of Halloween Horror Nights, and this is where we've come from with the classic Universal monsters leading up to the icons,
Yeah.
and then hell even having Crypt Keeper there because he was one of the original icons.
Yeah.
Not one of the originals, but original, but like he was
From the start, wasn't it?
from the
Basically, that's yeah. Well,
so just showing kind of the progression of Universal Horror, leading up to the icons and then kind of present day, which is kind of what we were talking about with Hollywood, John, like having like a House of Horrors kind of like a timeline made, starting with the original monsters, and then going into kind of the present day with the class with modern horror that Universal's done. So
Right.
I'd like to see something like that as a scare zone, just paying tribute, and I think the fans will appreciate it. And I think Aiello, if he is a big classic horror fan, and I think he respects the genre from what I've seen, I think it would be something on his mind as well.
I mean,
And
with
so,
the classic monster scare zone, um, maybe they'll like if they do bring it. I'm thinking that maybe they'll have it like they'll change up the looks of the monsters themselves, kind of like how they did in 2009 with Frankenstein and Dracula,
mm,
where
Yeah.
Frankenstein was steampunk, Dracula was wrapped around Vlad the Impaler, so his historical side. But like this one could like they could really make them like really like messed up, like really just like
yeah,
yeah, like
Yeah.
really messed up looking. That'll be really
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the, I think the classic monster scare zone would have fitted in well in Sting Alley because you kind of concealing them. It'll be darker. You get that kind of old fashioned feel to Sting Alley. Plus, it's to the way then if people think, I don't really care about classic monsters, that they're out of the way. People, you only go through Sting Alley if you really just kind of want to see them. There's
yeah,
no real reason to go through. So I'd love that, but I was hoping that they would do some little show in the horror makeup area, whether it was like a sit down 20-minute show to do with HHN Halloween Horror Nights.
mm,
You would have someone from art and design taking Q&As, which would be kind of cool as a nod as it is 25 years, or even a show showing 25 years of Halloween Horror Nights, like
yeah,
clips and interviews of to people and stuff would be cool for the event. And there was the rumor one day, but it just seems to have died. Is it no? I always forget the name now. No, the Summit Villas are they called between Mel's Diner and Kids Zone to your right hand side. They were supposed to be doing a museum there, wasn't there? And it's kind of just been left. So
I
it's
would.
I just sorry, what was saying, Dave?
Oh no, I was just gonna add, kind of go along with the 25 years. 25 years of Horror Nights would be nice to have got like because Universal is a film company. It would have been nice to see some kind of a documentary done for the history of Halloween Horror Nights, and especially since the last one we kind of got was the Art of the Scare, which Neil you have on your channel. I watch it all the time.
Yeah,
It's really good. Something similar to that, like doing a documentary about 25 years of Halloween Horror Nights. That's
yeah,
something I would like to have
I
seen.
would buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
yeah.
buy it in a heartbeat.
Well, it'd be great to show it, so that's the only place you could see it. And
Mm.
then once the event's ended, then sell it. Or they could, well, I suppose they could actually. No, what would be good is if they sold at the event because I think you're gonna get more people watch it, buzzing about it, and then buy it. Um, there and then I'd definitely buy it. I put like I just think that this year they've got a chance to recapture the imagination of the fans because I
Mm.
think the fans have become more and more disillusioned, and with any kind of hardcore fan, you can't just walk away from something just because it's not doing so. It's not doing so well. It's not matching your expectations of what the event used to be, and
Yeah.
I think they've got a chance here to say, you know what, you've stuck through it with us for some ropey years, and art design, I'll admit that. So for all, and you want the themes, you want this. You tell us every single year. You've not just moaned and moaned and moaned, and we're
Yeah.
going to repay you now. We're going to give you a full-on HHN fan fest for the year. So
Yeah.
enjoy. It's like everything. Like you have to go to the event X amount of times to experience everything and get every little detail. That's what I wanted from this year. But we haven't. At first, when the list came out, I was a bit disillusioned with Scream and American Werewolf in London. And then the next thing though, when I've seen the Jack video and I've seen like Psycho pointed out the kind of that we may have a theme, even though I believe we will have one. I'm
Mm.
quite excited again for the event.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
capturing and it's I think, like David said as well, I think they need to. I think they need to show everyone what 25 years of horror is and what it means to everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, we also look at Monster Cafe. They wanted to replace it with Transformers, didn't they? And it was a backlash. And now it's still Monster Cafe because they've realised that Transformers is just a fad. So.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, like you gotta have the monsters there, man. Come on, at Universal. They're the ones who saved the company from economic collapse, man. Come on.
They did.
You gotta have them in there. Seriously.
That's why I'm hoping for Hollywood we get something like that because I mean that's where it began. Hollywood is the original Universal, and if this is the big year of the reboot, 10 years since it got rebooted, we need something like a dedicated Universal Monsters house. That would be terrifying if done really well. And it would be also heartwarming to see all the Universal Monsters in person, live in a horror event. That like you said, it's the company, and it would be nice for Universal, even if they have to kind of pressure John to do it, do a maze to kind of celebrate Universal's history.
Right. No, like John would do it in a heartbeat. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's one that because we have no idea what's coming this year. We still haven't got any announcements yet for Hollywood, so it's one of the things I am hoping for Hollywood, and I do hope Orlando gets it for the 25th in some form, is kind of a celebratory scare zone or even a nod, at least a nod to the classic Universal monsters.
Right.
Yeah. You know, sorry to interrupt. What is that square that has been used in Frankenstein, Dracula, etc.? Is that still at Universal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that still there?
Yep. It's still in operation. It got closed for the longest time, which saddened me and my dad, because we always looked forward to it every time we went on the tram tour to see it. I mean, nothing happened, but it's for me and my dad, because we're both classic Universal Monster fans, to see it is awesome. Happy to see John's doing something with it, and I'm excited to see what that is. And I'm hoping by the time I fly out for Horror Nights that it will be open for the nighttime tours, just to see what he's done with it.
Yeah.
They're
gonna have a Frank scene, and then I think they're gonna have a Dracula one, and then remember, I don't know if you saw it, David, but Aaron mentioned that he saw like a lighting rig near how is it? The lagoon where they shot Creature.
Creature, yeah.
So I might do something with Creature as well, so that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and David, Phantom.
I still want the Invisible Man.
What the hell was that?
I can't see him. Where is he?
I mean,
the House of Horrors before they took it out.
The other thing as well is what I would have loved to have seen this year is a 25 years of horror house, like we're including for Universal Horror House, as a nod to everything Universal Horror, which is kind of because Halloween Horror Nights, I wouldn't say has saved the park. The park makes millions anyway, but it's kind of done. It's done massive money. It's got to the point where it was just a little bitty horror event just for a few people. Now it's got it does millions. I would have loved to see like an house from it, so it starts off with the classic monsters to go through things like the Thing, etc. Because the other thing as well is when we talk about Universal monsters, we always have envisaged the Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein, Dracula, Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Wolfman, etc. But then you also have things like the Thing, other Universal monsters. So I would have loved an house that incorporated not only the films but say the icons, a full-on Universal house, and they can do what they want with it. That would have been a
House of Icons, yeah.
Yeah, you know, because I mean, David, when was the last time you went to Universal? Was it 2013? Was it?
2013 was the last year I went to Horror Nights.
And did at Universal then? Did you have the 100-year celebration thing, Hollywood?
Yes, we did.
Did you? I mean, did you? And was it? I take it. It'll be the same show that they did at Orlando, won't it?
It was very
Similar.
little.
Oh, right, was
They
it?
didn't really have anything. They had banners and stuff, but we didn't really
Ah,
get
right.
anything show-wise or advertising-wise, which was a bit.
Yeah. Well, it's just like when I went and I experienced it. It wasn't last year because for some reason I don't think it was on when we watched it, was it? Or I can't remember. It may have been on one night we missed it, but I think the year before it was one of the shows. I was actually kind of it gave me goosebumps. It was strange because it really um, it had that sense to it where when people say you wear a song and it takes you back to a moment in time or you smell
Yeah.
something. And when you're seeing clips and it's the music and the themes and the like Back to the Future music blaring and stuff, it just took me back to my childhood and it gave me goosebumps and when the horror part come on and it was like wow I remember now why I love horror. It was like the icons and the scenes Freddy was there etc. And I thought that's what a 25 years of horror house do for me, or a Universal horror house would do. I think you'd go through getting goosebumps because it take you back to where you started. Everyone has a moment in time, and I think that's what they do. And I think for an event, 25 years, that would have been a great thing to do rather than just palm us with IPs that are just kind of generic, like Scream.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame.
I think at this point I'm kind of done with IPs.
Yeah.
Even if it's something I really want, like I'm kind of done. I want to see more original content. I want to see how Orlando used to be, where they had great original mazes, especially when Michael Roddy was running the event.
Yeah.
Like the Bloody Mary year was fantastic. That like Dead, was it? What was the zombie maze? It was.
Yeah, it's you know. Yeah. What's strange with that year though? No, thinking back when I went, because everything linked up, the website to the scare zones to the houses, how it all interlinked. It was great that way. But after thinking back with some of the houses, there was some actually quite poor houses. Creatures was poor, was really poor. That nothing worked. I think even Mike Aiello jokes about that. Interstellar Terror was kind of
that was very loosely based on Dead Space.
Yeah. Was it Event Horizon? It was a rip off.
It was a mix of both, and it was a mix.
Yeah.
Because the artifact was inspired from Dead Space with the artifact, and then the kind of setting was based on Event Horizon.
Yeah, it was. And when you went in the queue area type part, it was like flashing lights as you're going in. Like it just looked like a cheap kind of ride that you see in Blackpool. With like flashing buttons, and then Doomsday was probably one of the worst houses I've ever been in because it just did not belong at an horror event. But apart from that, it was actually quite good. If that makes any sense, because everything interlinked. Whereas I think now we're just relying heavily on how good an house is. No one ever really says that event was great. They'll say that house was great.
In particular, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because like if you ask anyone what event they like the most of them go straight to Carnival Carnage.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I mean, even for us in Hollywood, one of our best years was 2007 when we had Jack the Clown and the Carnival Carnage. I mean, it was only about I think it was only 3 or 4 mazes. I think House of Horror was in operation then, but yeah, I mean. When you have a theme tied, and I think that's where it kind of a success to a lot of the events happen is when a theme is well made, and then it well links with the icon, and it well links with the mazes. I think that makes for a successful event, but now we've kind of gotten scattered IPs that just don't make sense to the event. Like when we got Jigsaw a few years back, at least in some way that made sense because he became the icon for that year and he took control of the park. But now it's kind of just like, okay, we don't have an icon, but we have random scattered IP mazes with maybe 1 or 2, especially for Orlando, 1 or 2 original mazes. And because it's so disconcerting, and even non-hardcore fans go to the maze, go to the event, and they even pick that up. I'll have friends that have gone to Orlando, and they've all said, yeah, and I asked them, was like, what did you think of the event? What did you think of the feeling of the event? And they said, oh, it was fun. I liked one or two of the mazes. It was cool. Like, I'm like, what did you? And I'll ask them, like, did you feel a kind of unity of the mazes? Because I've always been interested to see, ever since they kind of stopped doing icons and streaming of that. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's uniform? Like, nah, we're just like one or like few mazes scattered around. So like, yeah, that's how I kind of see it now. It's kind of just like, oh, we got this, we got this, we got this. It doesn't make sense, but we got this. Like, so I'm hoping we're bringing back Jack the Clown, and hoping that there's a theme this year that they kind of return to that original kind of storyline driven maze event. Um, so yeah, especially with Shady Brook, we're getting like 25 is getting a Shady Brook mixed with um, and my brain just went numb. Oh, the Body Collector, sorry, because it's Italian. And I mean, Jack has history with Shady Brook, so we're gonna see Neil just melt away into the sun.
I'm like Dracula in a minute. The sun's just like literally come out and like burn. Wait a second. But I can't remember. Was it 19? Was 19 your first year when you went to HHN? Sorry.
Wait, me?
Are you talking to John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was my first year.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I'm trying to. What do we have that year? In that space of time, I mean, how do you think it's changed the event?
Well,
I think it's changed dramatically. To be fair, since that year.
Definitely, the theming and the storyline obviously changed since 2012, But I've seen like a reduction, like a waning down of like the amount of scare actors in the streets. Which actually I think you heard of it, Neil, but ILO confirmed on Twitter. I think that this year in the scare zones it'll be double the amount of scare actors, and plus roaming hordes at the same time. So that's gonna be pretty sweet.
Oh, cool. So that is my thing. I was gonna say about that actually as well, with because I was gonna say with the years gone by, with since 19, I can clearly see that a lot of things have changed, from websites to the front of house to the scare zones to just even things like pumpkins in the garden part just disappeared one year. There's little tweaks that made it feel like an Halloween event rather than Universal being open at night with if you got some extra activities to do. I just think the streets were empty last year. I thought, and when there was actors there, they were wasted. The Bayou, the Voodoo scare zone, you might as well have literally just walked 3 miles down with the lights out, and that would have been scarier. It just looked like they were just pissed off. They just stood there. There was a guy. We watched him with his big staff, and he just stood there, didn't do anything. People was walking past him. He was like as if he was sniffing him. That was it for about 5 minutes as we had a beer there and watching. And I thought,
what are you wearing?
And because there was, it'll be the same place again where that scare zone was. There's a bar on the pavement across. So we queued and we got our drink and we just sat there for a minute while we decided where to go next. And I just watched the scare zones. That's what I used to do all the time. I used to take watch 7, the scare zone, and or walk through with my drink because you obviously can't really take anything else. And this year, I watched that Bayou, and I thought, what's going on? There's just people just like pissed off. So just, she looked like she was pissed off because she couldn't get back on the stage. Whatever you want to call her. But no, I think the roaming odds this year are going to be the roaming odds that were in 22. As such, I think we'll have Walking Dead as roaming odds in a sense, but I think it'll be the kind of linked to 22 with the we had all the kind of legendary truth stuff in a sense of the Bacchanals and all that, so then people can start lubing up and masturbating over all that coming back. But and work out what beanie out they want to wear and what team they're in. I'm in team. I'm in team. Let's not go walking around the park swiping cards all night. But
Oh
yeah.
my god, guys, we gotta find the stickers and scan them.
Oh man. Oh man, that was painful. You know what the best was? When you knew there was a scanner not working, and you just kind of like watching people stand at the scanner for 5 minutes, trying to wave the card at it, and you're like, it's not working. It's not working. Give up. You know what? You're wasting 5 minutes of your life you'll never get back. But yeah, that's kind of. I'm just hoping this year is going to be great, and I'm hoping they carry on just trickling out information, because I think the same with you guys. I mean, David's really got it all to look forward to. He's the best. He's got it, on the Easter Street. We've kind of now been given everything. We're just kind of hoping something else happens. So David, what do you think's coming Hollywood?
Okay, well,
Anything?
I agree with the speculation that we'll probably get Freddy vs. Jason as shared.
Yeah, definitely.
It's too big for John to pass up, and I think he would enjoy bringing those back. I'd like to think we're getting Insidious back as well, since it was top maze in 2013, highest ranking one. And I even talked to John afterwards, and I said how much I really liked the maze, and he told me, from the polls we've had, it's ridiculously popular right now. With the new film coming out June 5th, I think it's a high chance we'll probably get it. As for other mazes, John, I know you wanted an original maze, but Clowns does not count as an original maze. I'm sorry, it is not original. Just stop trying. Just go back to what you know. Do IPs. I'm just kidding. I would like to see something, an original concept maze. Chances are we probably won't get it. We'll probably get something. I have a feeling we'll probably get Scream. I know. It's just I just get this hunch we're probably getting we'll probably get it. It's just like, hey guys, Scream! No, 2011 is trying to haunt me. But it's really hard to say right now, and you can't really go off of what John says, because he is a carny through and through, and he could say one thing and it would totally be something else, which is why I've given up doing update videos trying to decipher his clues on my channel, because I'm just like, no, it's better if I just let him surprise me at the at the end of the time, and then comment about it after. Yeah, so I'm guessing probably Walking Dead has a high chance of returning. If it's coming to Orlando, most likely it will come to Hollywood as well. John says he's sick of zombies, but he's lied. Like, it's too much money. Either that or Comcast is totally just pressuring him to do Walking Dead.
John, do it!
You will earn us money. Yeah. You will get down there, and you will. Okay, I'm not going any further. With The Walking Dead, so The Walking Dead most likely will get back. If it doesn't come back as a maze, it will come back as Terror Tram or Backlot Tour. It works really well as a backlot experience, because walking on the backlot, you got the whole city escapes, and it just looks great. Like, you got the zombies. It feels like you're in a proper zombie film. But as long as they're not trying to do crab walks again towards my tram, because that was ridiculous. It's just like, there appears to be the flexible zombies coming towards our tram. Quite so. Most unorthodox. I think Walking Dead will come back in some form.
No, David, Scream's gonna be in the backlot this time.
Yeah, it's just like there's
gonna be multiple ghost faces in the whole area.
It's funny because we were on the back lot and with me and my friends, and one of the zombies popped out, and this is how geeky my friend is. She was walking right beside me, and the zombie came out and said, boo. And she turned to her, just like, you're a walker from The Walking Dead. Walkers do not go boo. Do your job right. I'm like, well, you can't say that. And I was like, yeah, anyway, so yeah.
Where's Greg? Fire this guy.
Fire this guy.
Don't hire
You
him.
hacked it, you. But
Don't hire him for the show. Don't do it. Self-detect.
Hollywood's really, at this point, there's only a few that I would be kind of certain on. Freddy vs. Jason, I'm pretty sure. Insidious has a very high chance, I think, as well, considering how popular it was. And John is really, he got on really well with Lee Wannell and James Wan. So I'm pretty sure Lee Wannell would love to make up for his incident of actually grabbing a scare actor when he went through Saw, because it was him from the original film. But hey, this is me from Saw. Like, sir, you're gonna have to come with us. That's still one of my favorite stories from.
Why? What was that? I never heard that.
Okay, so what happened was, when they first did Saw back in 2000, I believe 2009, Lee Wannell came to the event with a group of friends. And he said, oh, guys, there's a scene with me in it, because he played Adam in the original Saw. And he got to the bathroom scene, and he's just like, oh, he's behind here. And he actually went into the curtain area where the scare actor's supposed to jump out, and he grabbed the scare actor. He's like, yeah, guys, this is me from Saw.
Oh, my word.
And apparently Universal Security came up to him and said, sir, you guys are gonna have to come with us. And he's just like, no, that's me. I created Saw. Like, he's like, sure you did, sir. So John likes to tease Lee when he came back about that particular incident. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get a picture with. Because we had Specs and Tucker outside of Insidious, and they were really good. And apparently one night it was actually Lee Wannell as Specs, which
no way, that's cool.
I missed out on that. I think that was
great.
But yeah, I think because they get on really well, I'd say Insidious.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I was told on the tours last year as well, basically, that. It wasn't last year, maybe it was the year before, that Hollywood does most of the talking to get the IPs, and then once they get them, because they have the bigger pulling power, once they've signed the contract, Orlando's allowed to use them. So basically, Orlando's like lurking in the background, see what IPs Hollywood have picked up. If they want to use them, they just use them. It saves them paying any money out. Which, going for the last couple of years, I can see us using the same IPs again to the extent. No, I think that's one of the reasons why we're using American Wealth in London again as well, because it probably is a golden handshake agreement, whereas you can use that maze continuously for as long as you want, but you can't. If we stop using it for a year, we wouldn't be able to. We'd have to draw up another contract. So, I think it'll be somewhat along. Ours and Hollywood will have basically round about the same IPs. Give or take one
we've
or
had
two.
years in the past that have done that where they're almost directly similar. I believe 2013 was very similar as well, because both got Walking Dead, both got Evil Dead. It was only with the exception of a few other mazes. We've had similar mazes in the past, so it wouldn't surprise me if we got almost exactly the same mazes. Though I'm pretty sure John will want to do something, maybe one or two mazes that are completely different. Because we had like Sabbath back in 2013, and Orlando never got that maze.
No, we had Cooper in 2012, didn't we, with Walking Dead, and I can't remember what else we had that year. But it's like last year, basically. What did we have? We had Dust Till Dawn, Dracula Untold, Aliens vs Predator, The Walking Dead. We shared 4 IPs out of 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
And obviously the switch was American of London and Halloween to an extent. So I can see you definitely having Freddy vs Jason is a massive pull. So that's a given for me. I can see obviously the big rumour of Halloween going back to yours.
Oh,
So
if Halloween gets announced.
What do you think about that, David? Do you think Halloween's
Oh
gonna
my
show up?
god, Halloween was amazing. If Halloween comes back, I will not stop talking about it. I'm
David,
just
take me
such a
with you.
come with me, John. Come with me, and we'll see a world of pure imagination.
John will be walking through American World for London going, this should have been Halloween.
It should have been Halloween.
I was, yeah, it was funny because because you guys are getting Jack the Clown, and I'm hoping Jack comes back for Hollywood because he was back in 2007. We got Jack as well. But when we were talking about Jack on the last podcast, I was just like, I'm checking up flights as we speak because after seeing the trailer, I geeked out so badly. I had to share it with all my crew members. They had no idea what it was. I'm like, see, he's coming back. I don't even know who that is. I don't care.
Jack.
It's Jack.
I know Jack.
Just this Burger King madman crew member just going, it's Jack, he's back. Whoa, there you go. Oh my god. And they're like, wait, is that the thing is that the event you will not shut up about? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, it looks pretty cool, but I have no idea what it is. I'm like, he hasn't been at the event for 10 years. This is so cool. It's just like, geeky.
You have to actually manage it and get some cups from America sent over from the American Burger King.
I may have to hire you guys. If they have a Jack-scented shirt, I'm going to hire one of you guys.
Yeah, okay, I'll get you one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was going to say this. What's called? I'll just come down and give it in person.
Oh, cool.
We'll do a video or something. Say, Psychos, what T-shirt? What do you reckon we're going to get this year, merchandise-wise?
I want to drag you on
the only thing we can speculate on still.
No, I think for shirts this year, I think we'll get Freddy vs. Jason. We can get Insidious, maybe Scream, Walking Dead again. Obviously, that's not the merchandise sells a lot, so that's not gonna go away. But hopefully this year's house shirt is themed to Jack and the theme for Halloween Horror Nights 25. Please. I hope that's the case. Which makes it just real quick. It makes me think about. Wait, what?
No, so go. What you gonna say?
Oh no, like I've been thinking about because I don't know if you saw it, but Aiello a while back, he's like, oh, I'm working with the marketing department and everyone, trying to get everything together. What I'm thinking, what went down is hey, we want Jack. Okay, let's have the IPs up in the front and everything, but I want Jack to be wrapped around it. You know, the 25th anniversary. Come on, I think he just really pushed it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it paid off, and hopefully, the theme is overarching. It wraps around the event to its entirety. But we'll see.
I think we'll have the normal house shirt where it just has the slogan on, and then I think we'll also have a Jack the Clown shirt on its own. Like in 16, we had a Jack the Clown shirt as well, just on its own, as well as the normal icon shirt. We had. I think this is going to be the funny one. I don't think we'll have an American Wealth in London shirt. So the 2 years we've had the event, we haven't had the shirt. The year we have the event, we don't have the shirt. Makes no sense whatsoever. I think we'll have Freddy vs. Jason. But I also believe whether they'll say Halloween Horror Nights on them or not, there'll be Freddy shirts there, Jason shirts separate, like they did at They did that at HHN 17. They all had single shirts as well. Freddie did definitely. I also think we'll have, like say, we could have Insidious, but Scream will probably be one. And what's the other IPs again? It was Scream,
Freddy, Jason.
Walking Dead. Walking Dead, I'll have one. Yeah. But I used to love the ones when we used to have Bill and Ted. There was a year we had a Bill and Ted shirt with the scare zones on the back. I don't know if that was 18 or 19, which was I'd love something like that again, like with the scare zones.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that'd be
know what I
like
think the slogan will be on the house shirts this year? You saw that Vine? It's like Jack's like, "I'm back. You're welcome." That was-
it's
They know.
yeah, I can't,
They know what we want.
yeah. I think it's this is why if you've gone to the trouble of actually putting an icon in, I think they'll go to the trouble of doing everything else. That's I think they've realised now that they need something that kind of ties into the event, don't they? And
Yeah.
fingers crossed, we've got it now. So
Right.
is
Yeah, I
there
think
any?
about it too. Like, oh no, go ahead, Neil. Go ahead.
No, sorry, no, he's fine.
Okay, well, just real quick, like, even thinking about it too, like, marketing Jack as that's the face for this year's event. That's a smart move because a lot of people are afraid of clowns.
Yeah,
So that's gonna attract a lot of people, Jack the Clown. Even if they don't know who he is, if
Mm.
they're not familiar with Halloween Horror Nights' past and the history of the event, they'll be like, "Whoa, that's a scary freaking clown. This is gonna be
scary.
awesome."
So,
Yeah.
I'm just quoting Psycho from one of his old videos.
Wait, what was it? What was it?
Yeah, what's it? HHN 21 video when I used to watch all. Well, I still do watch all your videos, but the one where you went, oh, it's gonna be. You went, I think, let me get myself on screen so I can do the actions. You went, you went, oh, this is gonna be scary. You put your hands for your head, and went scary. It was one of the best videos. Because it was good because you were passionate. That's why I used to watch your videos. You weren't just some guy reading off a website and then turn the camera off, which was pointless. You actually used to put your own view out. Still do, obviously, but obviously we talk every day, so it's a little bit different now. But yeah, it's that's kind of it was weird actually because he was the reason I started updating. And now we're here on a chat. So no, it was. I think the event needs to get its kind of its feel back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that hopefully we get it. Hopefully it's not as well as just about getting it this year. It's about getting it and it stays. I think that's one of the main things as well.
I think this is them testing the waters to see if this formula still works, and if it looks how it feels right now, I think it could be a big success for the event, and I think it will hopefully set a pattern for the rest of the year, years to come. Sorry, and I feel that that's right to kind of mix modern with the old kind of style of Horror Nights. You don't have to get rid of all the new stuff, but kind of make it work with the old and tried and true formula that made Horror Nights Orlando so popular to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
I'm telling you now, if it works really well this year with the marketing of the carnival and Jack, uh, definitely, like David, like you just said, if it goes well, I can definitely see like Comcast marketing saying, oh well, you know what,
This makes money.
this works. So you know what, we'll give them some freedom. We'll give Art and Design some freedom again because and going back to what you said, Neil, like that's what I really miss about the past of Halloween Horror Nights, where everything was everything was cohesive and centralized. Everything had a storyline to it. Everything was connected. Uh, like 2009, like that's what I want to see. Like a balance of IPs and original content, but those IPs being wrapped around this story. They're connected to this story, this theme. Like 2009 was a perfect example. It was IP heavy, but it had this really radiant and really uh, just out there. Like everything was connected. This theme to the movies, the Universal Palace Theater with the Usher, everything was cohesive, and that's
Yeah.
what I really want to see again, and I want to continue to see at Halloween Horror Nights. Have some creativity and originality there, not just have random IPs and crap. You know, like that's what makes the event more unique and immersive too. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of the fun things I've started doing on my channel is doing the stories of the icons, and it's just been a lot of fun researching the stories and then reading them because they make the event so much more fun to
Heck yeah.
learn and
Yeah.
and deeper. I mean, Jack's story alone was just fascinating. I learned things that I didn't know at first about Jack. I didn't realize he was at Shady Brook for a while. So, I, I mean, that's what makes the event so fun to fans and non-fans alike. I mean, even my dad, he likes the story of the events that go to, and I've told him some of the Orlando ones, and he really was into it. And I just think it makes it a lot more fun than just like it sets it apart from like things like Not Scary Farm or any other event because it has such a deep mythology to it, and I think that makes it a lot more fun. It feels like you're in a movie, and that's what Universal is known for: is movies. We want to feel like we're in a movie. We want to feel like we're trapped in this world, this horrible world. But I mean, we're enjoying it, but we want to be trapped in this big story, and you get more enjoyment out of it. I don't feel like I'm just going to a theme park and going through a ride
Right.
because there's things are happening outside the mazes. It basically creates this whole world, and I feel that's what makes Horror Nights set apart from all the other horror attractions, and that's what's made it popular in the past. And I think that's where they need to return to really bring it back, and not just be a cheap sellout with like, oh, we've got The Walking Dead. That IP alone is going to sell the event, and I think that if this year is a success, and hopefully it's got that theme, it's got that story with Jack coming back, I can't wait to see the future of Orlando, and I feel this could really bring it back from its kind of dark depths that it's had for the past couple of years.
Right. Yeah, man. The event needs to go back to its roots. Seriously.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing for me is like when we had the HHN 20, the big thing was all about, oh, it's a new era, and I remember just before the event I think TJ said, oh, there's going to be no IPs and all that sort of original content, blah blah blah, and then I said to someone, I put on the Halloween Rights page, well, the thing will come at least that year, and some guy had to go at me, went, oh no, it's all originals, and you don't have a clue what you're talking about because the new Thing film was out in October time. And then the next thing, the first house to get announced that year is Psycho. No, he was doing his updates at that time, obviously. Was the Thing, and he didn't even do a big announcement. It just was like a thumbnail on the bottom of the screen, and I was like, I thought as that house coming, and you couldn't click on anything. It just said, "Oh, Thing coming in." Like it was embarrassed by announcing an IP, so they just put it to the corner of the screen, and then they had the games going. And it was strange because I think that may have been the only IP that year. And then the next thing, obviously, I think what used to happen is we used to see some kind of cool themes get announced at Hollywood, your Freddy's returning, etc. And then Orlando was like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind like a couple of IPs and blah, 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 because we just got loads of original houses. And I thought,
cool. Then.
And then the next thing we just got overkill. And I think even though as hardcore fans we go to do all 8 houses, 7 houses, whatever's on offer, some people don't actually go to do that. They go to because they don't go to Universal often. They'll go and say, right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 houses or 4 houses, and we're going to do some rides. Obviously, for someone like myself, or especially like you guys that live over there, for me, I'll spend the daytime in the 2 weeks doing all the rides, and then Halloween Horror Nights is just about the houses. That's it for me because that's obviously what I come over for. But obviously, the way they view the event at Comcast as well, we'll do all these IP houses, and we don't expect most people to go through every single house. They'll say, right, well, I don't like Scream, but I like The Walking Dead, so I'll go in that. I like Freddy, so I'll go in that. But then I don't like Insidious, so I won't bother that. And that's what I think they're trying to do now, just trying to cater for everyone, because obviously with horror it's completely if it is already has subgenre within subgenre within subgenre. So I think that's kind of how they've done it now. And I think that's why they've done American Werewolf in London. Say, hey, look, this house was rated the best ever house. It had all this all the people saying, "Oh, I wish I went that year." Well, now it's the house you wanted, and what we'll do is all the people who never went in it, you all go in that, and then that'll be a queue bus. But it doesn't work like that in theory because everyone who hasn't been in a house doesn't just suddenly all go to that one house and then not go in anything else. So it's
catering
I just
to everyone.
Yeah.
Catering to everyone has never historically ever worked. And,
it can't. That's the problem.
Because the event implodes in on itself. Because it just is trying to, like you said, it's trying to cater to everyone. And like you said, Neil, one person is going to like this one, the other's not. So you're going to get disappointed people either way. And the original formula never really had that. It had its own set kind of theme, mazes, they all connected to each other. Boom. It's something new to everyone. You're not trying to cater to everyone, and people really enjoyed that. Now, like you said, we're getting an overload with like IPs, and people going for like one or two mazes and then kind of skipping one. I mean, I may not like Scream, for example. I may prefer Insidious and go in Insidious. I would go all of it, but like for people like that, like you said, it's going to lose out on the kind of joy that is Horror Nights. When I go to the attraction, I skip all the rides, I skip all the shows. I only go for the mazes and all the scare zones because that's what I pay for. I pay for Halloween Horror Nights. I don't pay for Universal Studios, and like it kind of becomes a mess then. You're trying to create something for everyone. It just you lose the draw that Horror Nights used to have. Like, oh, cool! This is an interesting, like the Storytellers year. They had the Tales of Terror, and it was totally brand new. No one knew any of these mazes, and I think that's what made it scary too, as well. Like,
you don't know what to expect, what's coming around the corner.
If I go to a Freddy vs. Jason maze, for example, I know I'm going to see Freddy vs. Jason. I'm going to see Freddy, I'm going to see Jason. I know what to expect. But when I go to a maze that's completely original and is kind of tied in with this big story, I don't know what to expect, and I think that's more frightening than having an overload on IPs.
Yeah. The only thing with that, though, is, to be fair, when I went in Dracula Untold, I actually expected to see Dracula, and I didn't.
More for that.
I just saw some walls.
Well, that was me and El Kukui. I mean, I went through it, and it was just this black corridor of nothing. Like, it was just... Okay,
your Dracula maze had that, too. Just a black corridor.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though? It was in the exact same place as El Kukui. They didn't learn. They didn't learn.
Yeah.
Your maze didn't have a handrail.
It did actually in one part.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, in one part of the maze it had a handrail, and I'm like, and it wasn't until I'm like, oh god, it's come back to haunt Hollywood as well.
The worst thing with our Dracula Untold house was the fact that the exiting queue was walking past you with faces, if to say. And I remember as we just got in, and I could see the handrail. I'm looking at this handrail, and this like woman walking up on it, and I thought, what's that? And then the guy, I didn't even have to make eye contact with him. He just went, "Don't waste your time. It's a load of shit." And straight away, I thought, you just built it up for me to be the biggest bag of shit I've ever seen. And I went in, and I felt finding that person, saying, you know what? You're right. It was the biggest bag of shit I've ever seen. So it was just, it was just strange, that house, to be fair. To be fair as well, it's where the Thing was, and I didn't like the Thing house as well. I thought it was just like a kind of a trailer that you could walk through for a film. That's what it felt like.
Ours was fantastic. I really liked ours.
Yeah, it was just that it was the space was confined really for the monsters were too big. You was literally, you'd see a monster and then you'd turn and you'd basically see another one. So that it was like, and they didn't really move. It was like, obviously, kind of, because it was quite big. It was just the human characters.
weren't they? Like, they were big
Yeah.
and slender. Ours were a lot of suit actors, and they were very fast, and I think that worked really well for our tent mazes, because we had like the Griggs thing. It was a full body suit, but it was confined to a scare actor to use, and they basically just ran out. And then and then we had Norwegians coming out with pickaxes trying to steal my lanyard. That was fun. Yeah, because my friend put glow sticks on it. He just ran out and tried to pick up my lanyard with his pickaxe. And I'm like, "Can I move on now? You're holding up the entire line to the maze." And he's just, and then I'm like, "Okay, I'll just let you do your thing." That's a shame because I really wanted to see what the Orlando thing looked like, but I heard it was kind of disappointing.
No, dude, like there's even scenes in the Dracula maze in where like you didn't know where the like after seeing the movie, I was like, this is not in the movie. Like the village scene, the village scene was not in the theatrical cut. It was in the deleted scenes. What? You know, no. It was actually a little snapshot of the village in the movie, but it was like you didn't at all. It wasn't fleshed out or anything. And then there was another scene of, oh my gosh, at the very end, like it's in the castle, but I'm like so lost, like you don't know what the heck this is.
No,
like,
no.
That maze was a mess. And then when you were in the woods, and then you all of a sudden were at the castle. I'm like, what kind of a transition is this? This is horrible. Like, oh my gosh.
It was. I mean, I felt the same with Dust Till Dawn as well. Dust Till Dawn to me was a bit of a mess. I got it. I got that they tried doing something different because obviously the perception. I know it was on a TV show, but no one can ever get away from the film, no matter what. And when the tour guide actually did say to us, he basically said it's a mess. You walk through and you're supposed to be like as if you've gone down into the tombs underneath, and it's all this Aztec shit, and he said, but it obviously doesn't work, and and he was like, tell us the truth, and you're like, oh my word, but at least
there was a scene there where I thought I was outside, but we were still inside the temple, so I was like, wait, what? I'm lost.
Yeah, I know what you mean, with all the vines on the wall, and then like you were like walking around. And there's a part where literally I thought was in Africa. And that's the part I thought was in a jungle, and then you're like, oh no, I'm not outside. It could have been Congo. That's what you could have had the maze as.
Congo.
Yeah, it was just a bit. Yeah, it's just a bit. What's it called? A bit of a mess. And I thought it was a lot last year. It's like with Aliens vs Predator. For where it said you was, for me you weren't. You was on a spaceship. It was just a spaceship. You might as well have said it was a spaceship. So because it wasn't, it didn't feel like some sort of kind of using some kind of science lab type thing. So, but yeah, it was one. I think this year though, I'm looking forward to what the old aspects of the event's going to be, and how they formulate the ideas and kind of sew it all together and stuff. So it's cool. I think there'll be enough there to entertain us for a few nights anyway.
I wonder if they will introduce the whole how did Jack escape the lantern in the first place.
Good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, I like to think that it kind of each year releases an icon. I mean, up to 30, and that will release like Fear in the end. Like, so like you get Jack the Clown this year, maybe the Caretaker next year, or like
Lady Luck.
Yeah, no Lady Luck. Lady Luck. I think it was Barrel. I think Barrel said that's how Jack escaped. He basically used Lady Luck as a battering ram, which to escape the lantern, which is totally what Jack would have done.
Come here.
Yeah, like I said, you have to go in head first. It's just like.
Oh.
And
It's like give me an head.
yeah. So I'll be interested to see if they keep that storyline or they just completely dumped it. It's like, oh yeah, Jack was here the entire time. He was just like in the
That's
background.
what I'm thinking, David. Like, I'm thinking that they're just gonna ignore the part of the story from 20 that the icons and all of the past was just sealed in the lantern with fear. I think they're
Yeah.
just gonna ignore that and say like, oh, Jack is back. There you go.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing. Well, yeah, he says it. He goes, Jackson. He says, I'm back. So it does insinuate that
Did
he
you know?
knows he's been away.
Yeah.
So either one, they'll ignore it, or two, they'll come up with some sort of concept of how he's got out. Whether I don't know. We don't know it, maybe, but I'm hoping there's some sort of story. But
Yeah.
there'll probably be some story how that thing, that person that was in Evil Takes Root found him in a cabin and unleashed him. That's why he's been missing for 2 years. Or some shit like
It
that.
was just part of Cabin in the Woods all the time. They just had to find the right item, like a Jack.
Oh.
It's just like unleash Jack the Clown.
The house. Oh, I wish it was Cabin in the Woods house. I love Cabin in the Woods. That was a great house.
Awesome. So awesome.
Just
But I think, yeah, with
David.
Jack, you know. Yeah.
If Halloween comes back to Hollywood, what do you think they're gonna base it on? Like, what do you think John is gonna do with it?
I love John. I really do. But one of the big downsides that we got for Halloween, the night he came home, it's The Life and Crimes of Michael Myers. Its biggest downside was he tried to mix everything, and that includes Rob Zombie. If you look at the mask, especially if you look at Sharp Productions' walkthrough of it,
That's
you can
true.
see that he tried to make it cracked. Like he based it on the original film, but then the mask is like based on Rob Zombie's a little bit. And even when I was walking out because Michael was a part of the Terror Tram in the back, we had like a mini maze up where the Bates Motel was. When you went through the maze, the mini maze, you could see when they jumped out at you, the mask was cracked and stuff like that. They were trying to do Rob Zombie, and because John's friends with Rob Zombie, that's my biggest fear is that he tries to bring Rob Zombie to do like a Halloween maze.
Oh, please
But
no.
yeah, because
please no.
John's a big fan of. Yeah, I know, seriously.
Oh.
That would be my biggest fear because they're really good friends, and I just don't want to see Rob Zombie's Halloween at Universal Horror Nights because it should be based on the original because that's the one everyone loves. That's the classic one.
Right.
I don't know how big of a classic fan John is in regards to like 80s films. We all know that he's a big Universal monster film, but beyond that, it's kind of up in the air where he would kind of base it on. Hell, we had My Bloody Valentine for 1 year, and it wasn't even based on the original; it was based on the remake. So that would be my biggest fear if it did come back. If it was announced, I would be really excited, but then I would right after desperately want to know more about the maze because I want to know if it's based on the remake or the original.
Right.
I would feel though that he would try to make it different than The Life and Crimes of Michael Myers, change it up a little bit, maybe do the hospital setting. So it's kind of up in the air. I would be excited, but I would be cautiously optimistic at the same time.
Right. Like you said, like you can see it in the maze. Like there's things from Halloween 4, there's things from Halloween 3, there's things from Halloween 2.
Oh, sorry. By the way, it was Emperor that said the comment about Jack using Lady Luck as a ram. Sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, if they do Rob Zombie, well, right. whatever. But I'm not a fan. So.
I mean, we had House of a Thousand. You guys never got House of a Thousand Corpses, did you? That was us purely, but that was actually a pretty good maze. I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie's films. I prefer his music. I think he's a much better musician than he is a director. But the House of a Thousand Corpses maze was actually pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit optimistic.
Okay. Neil, what were you gonna say?
What's going on? I was just going to say, one sec, let's guess. If Halloween does go to Hollywood, Orlando, that makes no sense.
Why not both?
To Hollywood, how much are you going to want one, David, to get you one of them t-shirts?
Okay.
I would totally PayPal it.
Black swap shop on the t-shirts. Yeah, so, no, I just, I think, I mean, if Halloween does go to Hollywood, I think kind of, you could even just replicate what it did in the past. Obviously change a few little things because it's not been there for a while. And Hollywood's kind of renowned for that anyway, so I think it's kind of be a well-received house, Halloween, if it went to Hollywood. I'd kind of be a bit jealous, to be fair, because I loved last year's house, mate. So... yeah, I'd be crying as I walk from American Way for London.
If it was, I'm actually planning to take some footage of the mazes this year, so.
Oh, cool.
I'll take some video of it. I know Sharp will probably do the same thing. So you'll probably get to see it regardless, if it is here at Universal this year. And yeah, John, if there is a T-shirt, I'll get you a T-shirt.
Thanks. If it's Rob Zombie, don't bother, okay? Don't bother.
I just do it. Just a
Don't
troll.
bother.
It's just like just a little note saying enjoy. It's.
I can't wait. I'm just looking at the Halloween Alrights kind of website with the purple kind of thing and the Jack the Clown, and obviously 9 terrifying houses, 5 scare zones, 30 nights of mayhem. Just can't wait. So. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get. Oh, what's going on there?
Well,
Sorry,
it has the tickets on sale now, doesn't it?
what's that? Sorry.
Does Orlando have the tickets on sale?
No, not yet. No, not
That's
yet.
why I was surprised that the tickets didn't come on sale.
Yeah, I was.
Hollywood, because I want to organize because I want to do Hollywood multiple times. I'm trying to plan around it.
Excuse me. I got an email off a person that buy tickets off like a website every year, and I emailed them back about Halloween, alright, and they said you can buy the frequent fair pass from the UK at the minute, but anything else there's still up in the air because it's obviously the prices. There's rumours that it's going to be over $100 to go in now at Orlando on it must be certain nights, but also. There's been some changes to multi-night tickets, and they don't know what they are yet.
Yeah.
I said, well, and it may be stuff like the frequent fair pass plus, etc. There was a rumour because there's some Wednesdays now that what it may be is something to do with them, where some of them might be included, have them in, and some might not, to try and entice people on the frequent fair pass on one of them may be that the fact that you don't get Sundays, you may actually just get Wednesday, Thursdays, or something stupid. Wouldn't surprise me. And the frequent fair pass plus, you actually just got Wednesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. So it actually opened it up like Fridays and Saturdays to just peak nights on individual night tickets.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just all. Let's say. That's just speculation, isn't it? So
Maybe they'll come out with a frequent fear plus, and they let you go Saturdays.
frequent fair plus 1 plus 2 plus 7 equals you get every night but such a night. So yeah, it's just.
I'll be interested.
I just get the rush of fear. Hopefully, still there because I'm only coming for a weekend this time, obviously. So
I might look into getting the frequent fear pass this year for Hollywood, only because I am going multiple times.
yeah,
Because I want to experience the mazes multiple times to get a good kind of sense of them before doing any reviews, just in case I miss something.
yeah,
Because with El Kukui, like the first time I went through it and it was just god awful. And then the second time I went through it, they added the audio, they fixed up the audio a little bit so you could actually hear Danny Trejo narrating the maze. And they added one scare actor in that damn black corridor with a flashlight. And to be fair, he got me twice because I thought it was an employee. Because all our employees, and I'm assuming it's the same with Orlando, they all dress in this like black hooded, almost executioner outfit, and they always have flashlights, and they're always doing this with them. And they had one in the hallway, and I'm like, oh, cool, at least they've added an employee. See where I need to go. Walked right past it, and he just put it to his face, and it was El Kukui. I'm like, fuck, just like,
oh yeah, no,
walking. And I kept walking, and my friend was giggling. I'm like, what? And he turned around, and he did it again, and oh my god, it made me jump. So it was a lot better the second time. So I'm hoping that with multiple times that the mazes, maybe some of the mazes that are a little disappointing, maybe improve. The multiple times I go in them. Go away, ambulance, no one likes you.
just I'm seeing looking at the chat thing working. That means yeah. No. Oh well. Well. Yeah.
I just stopped. Okay.
Oh man.
What I was I was just gonna say I'm gonna go and get some tweets soon. Yeah. But what was I was gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh, do you guys get fast passes, or do you just go and queue normally?
We have front line passes. I used to get them, but we have a formula where we don't even. I can get all the mazes done in around 45 minutes of opening, so we usually don't get them.
Right.
We do have front line passes. They're quite pricey, and unfortunately, they only work once. So you can only use them once a night. So if you do get, and this goes out to anyone who's watching that goes to Hollywood, save your pass until the end of the evening when people start piling in, because like things like The Walking Dead got to around 2-hour waits. Just go through all the mazes normally, and then use your passes near the end because you'll get more enjoyment.
Yeah, that's fine.
But no, we stopped doing that after a while. We stopped buying them because we had a formula down that worked. We didn't need the front line passes. VIP, however, I do want to try once, just to see what it's like. Yeah, it's like 200 quid, but I do want to see what it's like to go through the VIP experience. The Insidious one was really cool back in 2013, so I'm hoping John does something really cool for this year's VIP.
I'm in there. Here comes trouble. 1 second. Hi there. Hello. You coming and saying hello? Is it? Come on and say hello. Yeah. Come on here. Well, come and show everyone your good pajamas. Come here, look. Let's get in bed. Yeah, no. Hello. Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. I got my headphones, can't see.
I got first.
What's that? That's us there, yeah. Say hello.
Hello.
Say Daddy's the king.
Daddy's the king.
Yeah. So,
Oh man.
should we put you in bed? You go downstairs now. What? Wait, he's making noise, is that? What's that? That's it funny. She ain't got a clue what's going on over here. Say out. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're on screen, you got to come over there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go. You're really famous now, you're on YouTube.
Tell her to say Jack is back.
Oh, come here. Hi there. Come sit here. Alright, we'll get on the camera. You ready? You gonna say something? Say, Jack is back.
Jack is back.
And we go, rah!
Wow.
Go, Jackie's back, rah!
Jack is back. Wow.
There we go. There we go.
That is
Tell
amazing.
Universal Studios need to send some free tickets now, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go downstairs to see them there? Give me a kiss. I love you. Okay. Let's see. Word eye. Sound. Yeah, got the just walking off.
That is by far the best cameo we've ever had on the
Pretty much.
That's it. That's the new Vine for the Halloween Horror 25.
There you go.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think what I was going to say. I've completely lost all train of thought now. Still saying it to everyone, Jack.
Tickets, I think. We were talking about tickets.
Yeah, I always buy the Rush of Fear because I always go in that time period with the Fast Pass because Orlando was ridiculous, and unless you want to go right at the start of the night, it can. Every house last year just was insane. I think The Walking Dead went to about over 3 hours.
Yeah, that was by far our most popular maze as well back
Yeah.
in 2013.
And what was weird last year was the first time that the fast passes actually was you felt like you got your money's worth. Yeah, because I think we did The Walking Dead said 2.5 hours and we queued up and it took us 15 minutes with the fast pass, which was amazing. I did use my fast pass on Dracula Untold, and man, I wish I had.
Why?
Oh man, yeah. It was one of the houses. It was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the thing with American.
Get out of there fast.
Yeah, I want to use it to get out of the place, not in. But yeah. So I know that's the thing is for me, because especially with me going for the weekend and flying over, I end up paying the extra $100 for the multiple nights, which works out only about, if we do 4 nights, $25 a night. Not too bad. Anyway, but for someone like yourself, John, who can go multiple times spread across the month, I can clearly see why you don't bother buying the pass. And David obviously was the same with going. He lives there. You lucky bastards.
Not so much anymore.
Well, yeah, it does. So
I used to go one night from 2009 up to 2012, but then I was like, you know what, now I really want to go more than once. Like, this sucks. Like, even when I started updating in 2011, I was like, wow, I do all of this just for one night. I'm like, oh no, I gotta go more. So, yeah, I'm glad, and I'm grateful that I'm able to go. I'm happy I'm able to go more than once.
yeah, that's the thing.
I think now for me it's going to be an annual holiday. If I can do it, it's going to be an annual holiday. I'd love to do Orlando next year if I can, and I'm hoping that we'll see more of a presence of icons, because I'd love to see them all again.
Dude, if Murdy leaves this year,
Yeah.
Like, let's see if the next creative director, the one that takes Murdy's place, like, he's more into like original ideas and all that stuff, you know.
It's I mean,
Great
it's
thing for the event.
future scare actor there. We'll see. I don't think she can listen to one person. Well, cheers, Barrel Bob. But it's just kind of strange actually when I'm at Murdy leaving. I wasn't going to do any scare acting this year, hardly. I ended up getting roped into doing a commercial for Scare Kingdom.
Trapjaw, weren't you?
Yeah, Lockjaw, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and I was kind of on the photos and etc. Which it was fun, and it was kind of fun because I didn't kind of expect to do it. I've had a lot going on as well recently, but this month coming up June, I'll be producing Horror Camp Live for the night because people are away. Yeah. And then I will be acting in July in an Horror Camp Live show because I wasn't going to do that because that's the overnight experience and it just killed me. doing it last year, and then also in June I'm now going to. I've just clicked there just to make sure. I'm going down to Fort Park for the ScareCon, which is a on attraction for the English, British, and European industry, which is fastly growing. And I'm going to be on a panel, apparently, going off this email. So, going from doing nothing and just enjoying Halloween Horror Nights this year, I'll be doing that. And I'm a bit kind of peed off at myself. It's weird, I do swear sometimes I'm not. But because I felt by doing it, and I was speaking to Kane, who was a scare actor as well, and doing a lot of scare acting last year, that I thought it devalued the event for me because I knew what to expect.
Yeah.
I knew where everything was going to be coming out from. I knew kind of all the tricks and the mirror tricks, etc. And I kind of didn't want to do it because it was 25 years this year, big massive event.
Yeah.
And it looks like I kind of pissed on my own parade, in a sense. But fingers crossed I won't be doing too much this year anyway, other than that, so once or twice. But it's great, and I've said to David, I'll have to get him up here and I'll get him through the event, and I'll do a walk through with him and show him the lights on, etc.
Love to see it. 'Cause Man of Mortis looks really cool this year.
Yeah. I think I can officially announce now, actually, I probably told you on him, but the things that happen in Man of Mortis, they're doing the chapel scene that was in La Llorona. That's in there now instead of Freezer. They're doing. They've done some other rooms up. I'm trying to think what the other one is. They've done something else.
Giant
But
heart or something, like the heart of the house.
yeah, the art of the house. Yeah, they bought it at is it called Halloween Extreme or whatever it was called, or
Yeah.
the event where
convention. Yeah.
and the art beats. Yeah, the art beats. It's really impressive. Massive it is. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be kind of a good year. It does take its toll. I mean, it's an hard one. It does take its toll. It is good in one aspect. The only problem we do have is it's quite cold in the UK, and you do feel it in the winter months, and it's dark, and it's with work. But I'll see how it goes. I kind of envious of living in the UK. For people in America like yourself, when you used to live in Hollywood, and now I'm with Psycho, lives in obviously in the Orlando area. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of appreciate it as well when I go over. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, you guys, Psycho's done his fan films. He's done some scare acting kind of with his mates thing, and it's fun. You should come and do some, David, with me.
I would love. That's one of my dream jobs, is to work in some way at the scare industry, and I don't want to. Obviously, I don't want to work at Burger King all my life, but I'd love to do something in the scare industry, regardless, even if it's scare acting. I'd love to scare act it. I actually was going to be a Hollywood scare actor a few years back for HHN. I think it might have been 2012, but unfortunately. Oh no, it was 2013. I was going to be a scare actor, but they said you can, because at the time my visa said you can work, you can do this job because it's related to your studies, which at the time was film.
Oh yeah.
And I basically sold it to them. I'm like, well, I'm working for Universal Studios, which is this film studio. And technically I'm acting, so can I do this? And they said, yeah, for what you told us, yeah, you can do it. So I was really pumped to go audition for it, and in the end, I had to change my visa. So it treated me like I just got in the country, because essentially what happened was my visa had to be switched again, because my previous one, you have to wait, I believe, a year in order to try and apply for work, which I had, and that's why I was going to be auditioning for Universal. But then they said, no, we have to renew your visa if you want to stay in the country. And I'm like, fine. And so I was unable to do it that year, and obviously I flew back in 2014, so I kind of lost that opportunity. But I'd love to do scare acting to some for anything, really.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'll definitely get you. Definitely get you down. We'll do something with you.
That'll be fun.
Slit your throat and leave you dying there on the bed.
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
That'll be
But
fun.
yeah. But yeah, so it's kind of. I mean, the other thing as well is it's Psycho. Shame you can't come over here and see how shit some of the scale attractions are in the UK.
I was going to go to Alton Towers last year because I was pretty. Barrel just put, but Burger King is pretty scary. Yes, it is. When some customers it gets frightening. I was going to
working with the general public.
Oh God! In general, it's terrifying. I mean, Neil, you know all about that, don't you?
Yeah, I got headbutted last week, so yeah.
I was gonna do Alton Towers last year, but I heard it was just crap. And we did want to do Scare Kingdom, but we just couldn't arrange the transportation up there.
Yes, it is.
I live in Chesterfield, so it was a lot more difficult because none of us drive. Our friend that wanted to go would have to drive all the way from Manchester to Chesterfield and then all the way up there. So we just couldn't do it that year. But I'd love to do it, hopefully this year, some way.
People actually saying about me. I was talking to Psycho about this last year. We met up for a couple of early hours, etc. But maybe this year is something we could actually do a meet up with obviously people. So it'd be we'll see how the other guys are. Obviously Kane and Prob will be scared and Vic's not coming this year. So if there was enough interest and enough people and we could even get Cyril and Disney there and Aaron, which is first class horror. We could sort some out if there was enough interest. So if there's people who do want to do a meet up, we're not saying it definitely will happen. We'll obviously have to see with dates, etc. But if we could, post a comment on there or send us a comment on our Facebook page, etc. And we'll see what we can do. I mean, it should be fun. Not what you guys think.
Yeah. I really want to do one for Hollywood as well. There's a lot of people who want to meet up.
Get the twins in the Hollywood one.
Yeah. I want to meet up with Tristan and Aaron for the Hollywood event, and then all the fans of Horror Nights and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. So I'll let someone else wrap it up.
Does anyone have any questions before we head out?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Do we even have any viewers? Do we have any viewers? I haven't checked the YouTube page.
Yeah, the chat thing's not working on mine. The way usually you can chat, you can answer them straight back. I'm just getting the comments thing, so it's been quite hard. So I do apologise.
I'm having to press top comments, then go down to newest first, and then keep refreshing it.
Yeah, that's what I've been like.
Oh man.
But right, so on that note, yeah, I think we're all gonna head off. But it's been great. Great catch up, guys.
Yeah. Same, dude.
It's bye from me, HHN. UK. I don't even know what my name is. UK HHN.
PsychoMassacrefilms.
CrazyEnglishman.
And just before we leave, can I just say I do apologise when people see my Twitter page, when people are tweeting me believing I am the official Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights Twitter feed. I'm not, and if I don't answer back, it's not because I'm being ignorant, it's because I kind of feel a bit creepy if I start replying to some random guy who believes I am Mike Aiello when I'm not. So, bye.
Bye.
Barrel's like, what am I then, Psycho? I see how it is. I'm not an actual viewer. We've neglected Barrel. No.
Well, Barrel's always there. He's a sound guy. So peace. Bye.
Have a good one, guys.